Oi, you there, do you want Ash to review your homebrew products on his channel? Well, all you've got to do is peruse the description below, where you'll find a magical email address. And you can send him your stuff, or at least ask about it. I mean, if it's not dragony enough, he might not accept it, just saying. What are you still doing here? Oh, sorry, you're watching the video. Bye.
Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is HeroQuest, and today I'm very excited to share with you none other than the Chaos deck from Lestodante. This is a deck of cards that you can get from Etsy, and I'll put a link in the description below, where if you hurry, you can also enjoy a 20% off discount by using the code, which is also in the description below. But be quick, because for each day that passes, that code will eventually be worth less and less until it is gone entirely. Now, the Chaos deck currently is styled for use with the classic European editions of HeroQuest. It has the same size cards, and it has a very similar art style on the front and back of the cards. But there is an upcoming product, the creator tells me, that will use the larger US-sized cards, so as to be compatible with the classic US HeroQuest, as well as the contemporary global HeroQuest. With this deck of cards, you'll get 3 Chaos spells, the instructions card, and 40 Chaos event cards. Just to get these out of the way first, the Chaos spells are actually representative of Mind Lock, Mind Blast, and Dominate, and these spells in particular are ones found in the classic Against the Ogre Horde, but in that game they are represented by tokens for some reason. So here we have them in card form to go with your other Chaos spells. A lovely choice, and these 3 cards allowed me to completely put away my tokens and replace them with cards instead, as they should be. To read the instructions verbatim, the Chaos Event deck, also called Evil Wizard deck, is a set of cards created to add some variety to your favorite dungeon crawler game and spice up your quests. Each card is different, but players don't need to study any additional rules because everything you need to know is written on the cards. The most common way to use this deck is the following. If the Evil Wizard player starts his turn with no monsters to move or no miniatures placed on the board, he rolls 1 combat die. If a skull is rolled, he may draw 1 Chaos Event card. Remember, the card eventually drawn is for the Evil Wizard player's eyes only, and must be revealed to the heroes only when it's played. The text on the card explains when it can be used. Only 1 card per turn can be played, and its effect can not be combined with other cards. A card is discarded after it is used. At the end of a quest, all unused Chaos Event cards must be returned to the deck and shuffled. Heroes can't go strolling through the dungeon anymore, as this will result in more chances for the Evil Wizard player to draw other Chaos Event cards to plan new threats. Note: few Chaos Event cards may require specific components from the expansions. If you are using only the basic game, you might consider to discard some Chaos Event cards at the beginning of the quest. For example, remove Lost Scroll if you are not using any spell scrolls in your game. This deck features 40 cards, but we may consider to create new ones in the future. Feel free to suggest your own. And the Chaos Event cards were recreated by Lestodante and artworks drawn by Alberto Macari, Laszlo Seber, and Luis Octavio. NB. Without further ado, let us jump into the Chaos Event deck. Living Stone. Play when a hero can see a blocked square tile or after a falling rock trap is triggered. A gargoyle comes alive from stone and attacks immediately. Cannot be used in a quest where another gargoyle is already marked on the quest map. So this already brings to light an interesting question. If you, as Morcar or Zargon, or whoever the Evil Wizard player is for whatever game you happen to be using with these cards, draws this card, and there is a gargoyle on the quest map, do you then just discard it as though your draw has been squandered, or do you draw another one? That's up to you, I suppose. Hazard. Play as soon as a hero tries to disarm a spear trap. Unexpectedly, more darts are fired from the wall. All heroes in the same room or corridor must roll a combat die. Whoever rolls a skull loses 1 body point. That's really cool. That makes the traps more dangerous. And it puts a stake on the disarming of a trap that will affect all heroes if they're in the same room. This really changes the meta of how the heroes would be working together to take the most advantage of any given dungeon. Not lost coins. Play when a hero searches for treasure. Instead of drawing a card, he sadly realizes that his pocket is torn and some gold coins are lost. To find out how many coins have been lost, he must roll 2 red dice and multiply the result by 10. He may repeat the search on his next turn. This is really clever, and to me, it just fits perfectly with the overall theme of HeroQuest. Really nice. Wasted Potion. Play this card when a hero is going to drink a potion. He accidentally drops that potion to the ground. The bottle breaks and the liquid pours on the floor. The potion is then discarded. That is just evil. That is amazingly evil. When I am in the heat of battle or in between really rough bouts of combat, I need that body point potion. And now you're telling me it could just slip from my hand and break, and I won't even get my 4 BP. Stone Champion. Play when a standard gargoyle is placed on the board. He has 4 body points and can't lose more than 1 body point per attack. Ooh. Interrupt. Play anytime during a hero's turn. That hero will stop his turn, and a monster will immediately take an extra turn. The hero can then continue his turn as normal. Return to the deck and shuffle the cards after use. Mimic. Play on an empty cupboard. It comes alive, becoming a monster with the following stats. Move 2 squares, attack 3 dice, defend 1 die, body 4, mind 0. It can't move through doors. That's clever. That's clever. And it makes sense that this enormous cupboard wouldn't be able to move through doors. But it can move right up against a door and block heroes from coming through until they have defeated it. Wow. Ambush. During his turn, the evil wizard player may open 1 closed door already placed on the board and activate the monsters in the room. Monsters may move and attack immediately. Nice. I actually like the ambush card a lot. I really think that could make the game a lot more engaging for both the hero players and Zargon if one of the doors is just magically able to open. Awakening. Play when a tomb can be seen by a hero. A mummy awakes from its rest and attacks the heroes. Place a mummy next to the tomb. The mummy fights like a normal mummy but has 3 body points. Skeleton Patrol. Play when a wandering monster card is drawn. Instead of placing the wandering monster, roll a red die and place as many skeletons as shown by a die. They must be placed along the corridors closest to the heroes, and may move and attack on your next turn. You can't place more than 4 skeletons, even if a 5 or 6 is rolled. Well, that's nice and fair. I like it. Not Snakebite! Play when a hero walks in a corridor. A poisonous snake attacks and bites his leg. Roll a red die to find out its effect. At a 1, a hero loses 1 body point. 2 through 5, the leg is numb. Consider only this die with the lowest number when rolling the movement dice. It lasts until he rolls equal numbers on both dice. And at a 6, luckily nothing happens. Because of the effects of the deck overall, you can't just roll movement walking back and forth on your turn while there are no monsters on the board. That just allows Morcar or Zargon to continue drawing cards. So you have to play with the lower of the 2 numbers. I love the implementation of that one. Exhausted. Play this card as soon as it is drawn. All heroes with less than 5 mind points must roll a red die. The hero who rolls the lowest result suddenly feels tired and exhausted. For the rest of the quest, that hero will attack and defend with 1 die less than usual. The effect can be broken if a healing spell is cast on the hero. Wizard's Curse. You can play this card at any time. The spellcaster of your choice has lost focus. Each time that hero attempts to cast a spell, he must first roll 2 combat dice. If at least 1 black shield is rolled, he fails to cast the spell and his turn ends. The spell is not discarded and can be cast in a later turn. The curse lasts until the end of the current quest. Nice, I like that one. Just a complete borf. A complete doof. A complete gaff. Are you even really a wizard, Harry? Can you even lift your wizard staff, bro? Scorpion Sting. Play this card instead of a wandering monster. The hero finds a scorpion on his hand. Roll a die to find out what happens. On a 1 or 2, the hero loses a body point. On a 3 or 4, the hero's arm is numb and he is unable to inflict more than 1 point of body damage when attacking until the end of the quest or until he is healed. And on a 5 or 6, the hero drops the scorpion, suffering no damage. So here's one of those cards that would be effective if you were using expansions, and the expansions of course have the magic scroll items. This is the Lost Scroll. Play this card as soon as the hero declares he wants to use a spell scroll. He realizes he has lost the spell scroll he was going to use. Now it's too late to look for it. Who knows where he lost it? The spell scroll is discarded. Just evil. I like this one a lot. Mist. Play this card when the hero is attacking a monster, but before he rolls his combat dice. Something diverts his attention and the attack fails miserably. That monster doesn't need to roll his combat dice to defend. It does not affect spellcasting. Okay, this one is terrifying. Get over here. Play this card if a hero is blocking the monster's way, preventing them from passing through a door. The monsters grab and drag the hero to the center of the room, or any other square available in the same room. Return to the deck and shuffle the cards after use. So this is going to put a stop to doorway combat. Tripped. Play as soon as a hero enters a room first. A goblin hiding behind the wall trips him in the center of the room. Place an extra goblin next to the door and move that hero near the center of the room. The hero's turn ends. Cards like this are really deadly. You can really take out a hero very quickly with just a few monster moves and attacks, if they're isolated especially. Spreading Chaos. Play this card when a Chaos Warrior is defeated. His corpse evaporates, spreading a chaotic aura. Each hero in the same room must roll a red die. If a hero rolls 1, 2, or 3, the hero skips his next turn. A 4 or 5, the hero loses a mind point, and on a 6, the hero loses a body point. Now you have to worry about what happens when you actually defeat Chaos Warriors. Walking Dead. Play in a room with zombies. Each time one of these zombies is defeated, roll a combat die. If a skull is rolled, the zombie gets up and comes back into play. Acid Explosion. Play this card when a mummy is defeated. The mummy explodes and a corrosive acid hits all the adjacent figures, also diagonally adjacent. Each victim must roll 1 combat die. If a skull is rolled, he will lose 1 body point. I like this one very much. Bone Heroes. Play this card in a room with skeletons. When they were alive, they were brave warriors. When rolling their combat dice to defend, they must roll white shields instead of black shields. They also have 2 body points each. I can think of a few quests that this one would work with very, very well. One in the base game and one in Return of the Witchlord. To be honest, there are probably several in Return of the Witchlord that would work well with just on theme alone. But of course, there are skeletons in every quest in that campaign. Alright, we have quite a few left, so we'll go through the rest of them briefly. Poisonous Spider. Played when a hero is adjacent to a wall corner. A spider's gonna bite that hero. Hero's turn ends and he must roll a red die to find out what happens. Chaos Staff. Play this card in a room with at least 3 monsters and choose one of them. That monster wields a magical staff that invigorates other monsters in the room, granting them to roll 1 extra combat die when attacking and defending. Slice Twice. Select a standard monster that looks like a lizard or like a fish. That monster is a champion and may attack twice during his turns. Ogre Meal. Play this card as soon as it is drawn. An ogre comes out from the corner of a corridor and blocks the way for the heroes. Place an ogre warrior on the board. Negative Influences. Something is negatively affecting your evil plans. Be patient, sit still, and wait for your next chance to draw a better card. Oh, it's the nothing card for Zargon. That's lovely. I'm so glad that's in here. Poisonous Trap. You can play this card in a room with a tomb. A poisonous gas is spread from the bottom of the tomb. Each hero in the room must roll 1 combat die for each mind points he currently has. In the Chamber of Darkness, the room is filled with darkness and the heroes cannot search the room or make ranged attacks. Tampered Treasure can be played anytime. Draw the top 4 cards from the treasure deck, discard 2 cards without revealing them to the heroes, and put the other 2 back on top of the deck. Mimic. Play on an empty treasure chest. It comes alive, becoming a monster with the following stats. Rotten Wood will twist and destroy a wooden crossbow belonging to a hero. An evil card, definitely. Artifact Weakening. Due to Chaos Sorcery, all artifacts owned by heroes temporarily lose their power. Roll a red die, and that's how many turns the artifacts will have lost their power. Ignore all artifacts, as if the heroes had no artifact cards these turns. Cupboard Zombie. This card can be played in a room with a cupboard during a hero's turn. A zombie pops out and attacks the closest hero. Combined Attack. You can use this card to combine the attack of 2 monsters against a hero who is on the other side of a door. One of the 2 monsters must be in front and the other must be adjacent to it. Infamous Goblins. Play this card in a room with at least 2 goblins. Each goblin may roll 1 extra combat die for each other goblin adjacent to the same hero. The Lure of Chaos is played on a man-at-arms of your choice. He will suffer the Lure of Chaos. The evil sorcerer and the player controlling the man-at-arms must both roll 2 red dice. If the sorcerer scores higher, the man-at-arms will be turned to a Chaos Warrior. The Vanishing Doors card can be played at any time. All doors to a room of your choice disappear. Removing all doors in this room from the board, they will reappear at the start of your next turn. I've saved my favorite cards for last. Trap Reset. Someone reset the dungeon traps. All traps that have already been discovered or disarmed come back into play. Remove all trap and secret door tiles already placed and treat each trap as if it has not yet been discovered. And Wandering Sorcerer. Add a Chaos Sorcerer to any group of monsters when a room is opened. This sorcerer has 2 chaos spells at random and the following stats. And that is a complete overview of the Chaos Events deck by Lestodante. Don't forget to go visit the link in the description below and use the code that I provided to get 20% off or less of your order. And you can enjoy these awesome Chaos event cards with me. And just for anybody who needed to see the details on the Dominate, Mind Blast, and Mind Lock cards, they are identical to the tokens in function, although the wordage is changed from the tokens that explain these powers for the expansion that they are introduced in. And the art is, of course, original and different. I'm not gonna lie, I actually prefer the art for the card for this. It's so very compatible with the classic HeroQuest art style. Like, I know the tokens are official and they were there for the original HeroQuest, but I just love the art style. They really nailed it, so what can I say? I also love that the front of these Chaos Spell cards is distinct from our existing Chaos Spell cards. We have an image of the Chaos Sorcerer, and that works out really well because it is representing a very specific sort of faction of spells. That's the Chaos deck. Thank you very much for watching, and please give me any comments down below. If you want to see more overview content like this, just make sure to subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of videos up already that show plenty of material just like this that you can use with your HeroQuest and other tabletop dungeon crawling games. Until next time, brave heroes, onward